Welcome to Let's Talk Football from the Perth Soccer Club. Today we have Walter De Maria from the football operations side of things, coach Graham Normanton and ex-player Barry Wood. So, let's talk football.
Here's Aloisi for a place in the World Cup. He
With me now I have Perth's Chairman of Football Operations, Walter De Maria. Walter, how are things travelling for the club this season so far?
Well, on the park we've started okay. I could say for the league we had a bit of a bad game against Swan. They played very well and we're travelling okay. It would be good to get a win today in the Cup. The Knockout Cup's something that we look forward to playing every year. Generally, I'd say okay, satisfied. Won the night series, started well, so we just need to find that form from the night series and give it a good shake.
You've had a couple of injuries early on in the season, especially to Robbie, and what's the situation with that now?
Robbie, unfortunately had a injury, very weird injury, 3 seconds into the game, last home game against Fremantle here. He just turned awkwardly, he said he heard something snap, and we found out this week that it was his ACL, and he went for an operation yesterday. 3 months before he can get back to work, and apparently about 9 months before he can start full training again. So we won't see him again till pre-season next year. But more importantly for him, he's got a family and a mortgage. I hope he can get back to work pretty soon because it's a pretty big injury for him.
Just as a matter of interest on that, is there any insurance or compensation for an injury that happens like that through the club or something like that? Or Football West, I should say. Well,
probably not the full packet of this, but on this, but I believe we've got our insurance man here at the club looking at it. He's a contract worker, so it makes it a bit difficult for him. He has no sick days and holiday days accrued or anything like that. He's at the moment without an income. Football West, because he's a professional with us, he's covered for his wages while he's playing, we believe. I don't think they cover his wages for his normal employment, so we're looking at it through our club insurance to see if we can help him out, because you're not going to get too many people risking their legs if if they go down with an injury of that magnitude and it puts them out from their daily living basically. They've got family, kids, mortgages, and the few $100s they're going to get from football insurance isn't going to help that.
Maybe that's something that should be looked at for the future. What do you reckon?
Probably be very, very expensive for Football West to underwrite insurance coverage for players' wages outside of football, because we're looking at a lot of players, and I think it's something that hopefully we can cover through our club insurances, whether it be workers' comp or not, because he does work for the club technically as a footballer, or else I don't know, we'll be holding a few functions to help raise some money for him. We don't want to leave the lad alone. He's been with the club all his life, and a big loss on the park, but a bit of a tragedy for him off the park as well.
It's true. And what about your depth now? Are you going to be in the transfer market looking for some new players?
The depth is a bit of a question at the moment. We have some niggling injuries with some senior players. Todd Howarth is always carrying a bit of an injury. Matty Danskin's in and out of the squad with injuries. So, we're looking at replenishing the squad. We have currently a player on trial with us, a young lad from Bolivia, and we are looking at bringing in a player from overseas as well.
Any further? What about locally? Are you looking at maybe, how would you say, doing a raiding party on some of the other teams in the Premier?
It's not so much a raiding party. I mean, if we hear of a player who's unhappy at another club and he fits what we need at Perth, we'll obviously have a chat to him if he's available in terms of his contractual status and everything else. We're not going to go and purposely try and pinch the best players out of other clubs. I mean, that's the perception that's out there that Perth does. But obviously we try and do things to better our team, to strengthen our team. And if a player's available who is not happy at another club, we'll have a chat to him. But I think with this import plus this this young kid, if he comes through, this Bolivian kid that's been on trial, which I need to get somebody who can speak Spanish that I can talk to him today, so we can get the paperwork in motion. He's played at a pretty high level in his country. Apparently he's played in the Libertadores Cup in South America. So, we'll have a bit of a chat to him, and obviously it's all about making the squad a little bit deeper than what it is now.
And speaking of squad being a little bit deeper, and probably a sore point after the discussions that have been going on all week, the Foxtel programme that's going on at the moment, where you've got some players heading over east. Who has actually gone from Perth over east?
There's 5 players, probably. There's a mixture of 5 players that have gone over east. Pricey from the first team, several lads all from the reserve squad, which have made our team a little bit light on. There is no issue. We chose an avenue which we thought was available to us in having the game postponed because of players away on a competition trial situation which was sanctioned by Football West and FFA, so we thought we had a right to ask for the game to be rescheduled. They granted this right, so I really don't know what the fuss is about.
When is the rescheduled game going to take place?
At this stage, it's Tuesday night at 7:30 here, kick-off at Doreen Gardens.
So it's this coming Tuesday night?
Yes.
All right. And what are your hopes for the rest of the season now? What position are you I know you're going to tell me win it, but realistically, are you hoping to win?
Well, look, I mean, when you talk about Perth, it's a bad season if we don't do the treble. We'll win the night series or we'll win the cup, and people say we've had a bad season. So the pressure's always on at a club like this, and rightly so. We believe we have a good squad, good coaching, good facilities, good management, good people behind the team as well. So in the end, we want to win it, and I think we've got the potential to do so. That's Deegsy. That's a fine for Deegsy on Tuesday.
That's right. I agree with that. And looking at Normo, totally 100% safe, because last year there was talk that he was in trouble, but 100% safe. And this is the board talking now.
Normo's never safe. He knows there's a letter always in our top drawer, and we can pull it out at any time.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Walter, thanks very much for talking to Let's Talk Football.
Thank you, and great job you guys are doing, by the way, with Let's Talk Football. And I'm glad somebody has still got the passion in the media to do things at grassroots level, and keep up the good work.